Hey y'all, happy Saturday. It's been a little bit since I did a video, holidays and everything. Everything's been kind of crazy. And I've been a little busy having to replace most all of my major appliances, unfortunately, the last week and a half or so. But today, the topic of conversation is going to be the Stanley Mickelson Safeguard Complex. It's in North Dakota, about 100 miles northwest of Grand Forks. You may have seen or heard about a TikTok video that a fella did about the Mickelson complex, that it was only operational for one day. We'll go into that here in a minute. But a little bit of information about the area first. It was named after a former commanding general of the U.S. Army Air Defense Command. It was the first operational anti-ballistic missile, or ABM, defense system. There was 12 safeguard sites that were planned altogether. This was the first one. It was approved in 1969. Construction began in 1970. And it was to defend the Minuteman missiles at Grand Forks Air Force Base in the event of a nuclear event with the ICBMs, either by Russia or China. It could provide also limited defense of the Minuteman missile sites or even civilian population areas also. What they call the IOC, or the Initial Operational Capability, which is when it first opened, occurred on April 1st, 1975, and was operational, although not fully, but was operational for 8 months prior to it being closed. It was only fully operational for one day, though. But it was open and operational, at least on certain levels, for 8 months prior. And then also the Congress had voted to deactivate the site not until October 2nd, 1975. That was one day, 24 hours after it gained its fully operational status. The tactical operation was terminated in November, and the only part of the original installation that's still in use is the Perimeter Acquisition Radar, or PAR, which is a missile warning system that detects, tracks, characterizes it characterizes Earth-impacting objects and is operated by the Air Force. The inactivated safeguard facilities have been decommissioned, meaning all the tactical systems have been removed. So if you've ever seen stories about people that go by the missile silos, and everything that was in the missile silos will have been taken out, is basically just an empty hole in the ground. And people go in and sometimes maybe they make residences and things of that nature out of the old missile silos. It was maintained until 2002 by the U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command, or the SMDC, until the U.S. withdrew from the ABM Treaty, or the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty. It's now owned by Cavalier County, which is the county where it's at in North Dakota. The rest of the complex and 4 remote Sprint launch sites have been sold to private owners. It cost, at the time, $5.7 billion with a B to complete. In today's money, with inflation, it would equal about $15 billion with a B. In December of 2012, the site was purchased by the Spring Creek Hutterite colony of Forbes, North Dakota. And Hutterites are similar to like Amish and Mennonites. They are, almost all of them, according to what I read, either live in Western Canada and the upper Great Plains of the United States. And in 2020, portions of the property, including the pyramid building, I'll have pictures in here of that too, were sold to Cavalier County Job Development Authority, or CCJDA, for $462,900. That particular building, the where the radar was at, gets a lot of attention, probably the most attention I would imagine, because it basically looks like the pyramid that's on the dollar bill, where the top part of it's cut off and you have the all-seeing eye above the top of the pyramid. It kind of basically looks like that pyramid. The intention of Cavalier County is to build an interpretive historical center, restore the property, and sell or lease to a data center or similar business. And also, in regard to the property being developed by the United States government, and then just there's this only being the one of the 12 that was supposed to be built, and it being abandoned in pretty short order after spending so much money. It was basically reported that this was used as like a bargaining chip with the Russians. Basically, they went in and had this whole area, everything that they put together and were able to accomplish to show the Russians what we could do, what our capabilities were. And then also showed how enormously, incredibly expensive the whole thing was. I read where it said that basically roughly half of what was spent was research and development, so it wasn't all totally used in building the facility and the site and so on. And as far as that goes, as far as the research and development aspect of it, there were a lot of breakthroughs with radar technology, micro miniaturized circuits, fast accelerating missiles, things that were developed as a direct result of this, he said. So it wasn't wasted time or money. Ultimately, it was things that they were able to develop and later use in other things in other ways. So it wasn't a completely wasted endeavor on the one hand, and also the fact that it is claimed that this site basically helped Russia decide that, okay, well, instead of expanding their capabilities, their attack capabilities, maybe it's best we just limit the United States and Russia to just one site like this. No more, just one ABM site each, and that's it. So if this was an attempt by the U.S. government to to show the Russians what we had and what was available and what we were capable of, and it worked. At least their high dollar ticket item worked very well to show that maybe this is not something that would be worthwhile pursuing, at least if nothing else, just the financial aspect of what it would cost. That was, $5.7 billion just for one. Now, again, granted, they say part of that, about half of that was for research and development stuff, but I'm sure in the as time passes, we all know there's always continuing research and development on things. So I'm sure there would have still been a lot of money put towards research and development of other things as time went on. And I'm going to add, like I said, I'm going to add pictures of the radar building. And also, too, from what I've read, supposedly you're able to go to the site and actually take tours now. I if that is currently still the case, I'm not 100% sure, but that basically there really isn't a whole heck of a lot going on there. It's basically abandoned. But that supposedly you can go there and take a tour. Okay, so that's the Stanley Mickelson Safeguard Complex. of North Dakota. Thank you for listening to me today. I appreciate it. And hopefully it won't take me as long to make another video to post up here on YouTube. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.